Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be testing and reviewing some new products from L'Oreal. I have the stick foundation, I have a stick blush, and a stick highlighter. These were actually brought to my attention by you guys in my last foundation review video, where I reviewed the Maybelline Superstay foundation. I asked you guys if there's other foundations that you want me to try, and you commented that you wanted me to try the L'Oreal Infallible Foundation sticks. I'm so grateful because I had not heard about these yet. These are brand new. I did get mine on Amazon. Some of them were transported a little bit poorly. They got a little shaken up and a little bit melted, but you know what? We're gonna make them work. I'm really excited to kind of test these out, and I'm ultimately wondering, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are, if one is better than the other. It's funny because Maybelline is actually owned by L'Oreal, and the fact that they have launched stick foundations at the same time is very unique and interesting. So I'm really curious to know which one is better. I feel like you obviously maybe don't need both of these in your collection if you're looking for a good drugstore stick foundation. So let's just get right into it. I already have my brows on. Actually, first I'm going to kind of talk about, the things that this foundation claims to do. There are 11 shades on Ulta, so less shades than the Maybelline one. It claims to last up to 24 hours. What is it with all these 24-hour wear foundations from the drugstore? I've never worn a foundation for 24 hours, so I'm just going to wear it as long as possible. It seems like the same kind of idea where they kind of market it to be something where you can conceal, you can sculpt with these in different shades, or you can use them all over as a foundation. In my video with the Maybelline Superstay foundation, I did buy every single shade that was on Amazon. There's more shades now on Ulta.com, but I bought every single shade, and I did use some darker tones to contour, and I used a lighter tone to conceal. I didn't do that this time with L'Oreal, just because I personally feel like I won't use them that way, but we will definitely be trying them out as a foundation. Also, one thing that I wanted to point out is there is no applicator on here, which is one of my problems with the Maybelline Superstay. I feel like it's just a waste of packaging. I personally won't use the sponge applicator on the other side of the Maybelline one, and there's more product. So those were my two complaints about the Maybelline Superstay. However, I really enjoyed how that wore, but this one has 0.32 ounces where that one has 0.25, so slightly more product. And it also contains sunscreen. However, it's a chemical sunscreen which can tend to break me out or irritate my skin, so we'll see how that goes. But it's an SPF 27, which is pretty high for a foundation, so that might be something that you guys are interested in. I ended up picking up two shades. I got 401 Ivory and 404 Shell Beige. These were just chosen on Amazon, so I'm hoping that one of these worked for me. I hope so. Let's do a little swatch. Whoa, it's a little bit darker than what I thought, but luckily we have a lighter one. So that was 404. Actually, that might work really well. I'm just gonna blend it down the neck. So actually, I kind of like 404 slightly more. I might mix them. I know that's a little bit bougie, but since I did buy both shades, I might just mix the two. So let's go ahead and apply some primer. I actually wanted to test it with the exact same products that I wore with the Superstay stick foundation. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Prime Hydrate and Smooth Primer first. So let's just put that all over the skin. Oh, while we are doing this, I wanted to tell you the price. On Ulta, these retail for $12.99, so they are $1 more than the Maybelline one, but you do get more products. So, and I know they were less than that on Amazon and at Walmart. I'll have everything linked down below. I don't remember the exact pricing off the top of my head. So, it is affordable, but at the same time, like, you get so much more product for about the same price in both of the liquid foundations, like the Infallible foundations from L'Oreal as well as the Superstay from Maybelline. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and draw some stripes on the side of my face. I'm just gonna do two of this color, and then maybe we'll try to mix in one. Actually, I feel like this shade might work on its own. Let's go ahead and use a foundation brush. This one I'm using right now is from Tarte. I typically like to blend out stick foundations with a brush first, and then I'll go over with a sponge. So that is the two stripes on one side of my face with a brush. Let's blend out these two with a sponge. This one's from Aesthetica. The reason why I like to blend it out with a brush first and then pat it in with a sponge is because a sponge takes up coverage, and for some people that might be a good thing. They want it to look more natural, they want their skin to shine through, but you guys know, for me, I usually need more coverage. Just off of the first layer, I feel like there's not as much coverage as there was with a little bit of the Superstay product. And right now I like the finish of the sponge, but I like the coverage a little more of the brush. So we're just gonna keep building this up. I'm obviously going to try to build it up to the coverage that I need personally, which is a full coverage, okay? Oh, I just added the wrong shade. Oh well. So this is the lighter shade that I'm layering on top. okay. I'm just gonna go all over the skin with the brush first, and then I'm going to go over it with a sponge. Probably could have started out doing that because that's what I typically do with any foundation, but I did want to see what the finish was like. I have quite a bit of texture on my skin right now. I always have like some sort of blemish, but I feel like my texture issues have been pretty good recently. And then I discovered these delicious Greek yogurt ice cream bars, and I've been eating them like every day. And I recently found out that I am sensitive to dairy, so my skin is not happy with me, and that's what I get for my self-control this week. If you're wondering though, the brand of the ice cream is called like Yasso, Y-A-S-S-O, and they're like little ice cream bars, but they're made with Greek yogurt, and the best flavor is mint chocolate chip. So you didn't hear it here. If you're in need of a good ice cream. I've been kind of obsessed, however, it's backfiring on my skin. So I'm trying to kind of build up over my blemishes just by kind of tapping on more product and then blending it out with a sponge. And I feel like this product is really good at being able to be built up. But again, I do feel like I've had to add quite a bit more than I did the Superstay. I don't know if that's just me, but for some reason I feel like this one is better at like building up coverage. The Superstay, you definitely have a more full coverage right off the bat. However, I am liking the finish of this. I feel like this finish is a little bit more dewy than the Superstay, as you can see, but it's not too dewy. It has like a really nice natural finish to it. So since we have some more cream products from L'Oreal, like the blush and the highlighter, I am going to go ahead and apply some concealer under the eyes. I'm just going to use what I have in front of me. I'm going to use my KKW Beauty Concealer in the shade number 4. I'm just going to quickly blend that out. And then sometimes I like to add the shade 2 just under the areas that I need a little bit more brightness. Okay, so now that we have some under eye concealer on, let's go ahead and try the blush out. They have 2 shades of this on Amazon. I'm not sure if they have more on Ulta. Actually, let me look. No, they only have 2 colors of the L'Oreal blushes on Ulta as well. There is 0.3 ounces of this product in here. I got the shade 45 Sexy Flush. Let's see how this applies. I'm just gonna go straight out of the tube first onto my cheeks. And then I'm gonna blend that out with a sponge. It's a very soft blush color. I think this is the lighter of the 2. And there's something about cream blushes that I really love. It just makes your cheeks look so healthy and hydrated, I guess. But this is a very soft color. It's just personal preference probably. A lot of people would probably like this color, but I like more blush than this. I like more of a pop. Maybe I should have got the darker color because it's just a very soft flush. It's still pretty though, and it applied really well. I felt like it blended out nicely. Let's go into the highlighter. This is in the shade 41 Slay and Rose. They had a golden one, and I chose this one because I felt like it would suit my my fair skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this with my fingertips, kind of just like pressing it onto the high points of the cheeks, maybe taking some down the center of the nose, on the cupid's bow. These are also very soft and subtle. You can see that it gave a glow to my skin, but it's nothing like crazy. It's really, really subtle, which I do like subtle products sometimes. I do wish that the blush had a little more pigment to it, but I could of course try the deeper shade. And the highlight is really nice. It's really pretty. It just kind of looks like more of a glossy highlighter. Like it's not too blinding. It's just more like it makes your cheeks look nice and hydrated. This is what all 3 products look like right now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the makeup. I'm gonna try to kind of keep some of these products unpowdered. However, I always set my face with powder. That's just how I am. And if I want to give you guys like my full on opinion, I need to wear it how I would wear it. So I am gonna set the foundation with a little bit of powder, but I'm just gonna finish up my makeup really quick and then we will be right back. I will. I will be right back to do my check-in in just a couple seconds. So we'll see you in a minute. Alright you guys, I just finished my makeup. Must say, really like this lip color. I know a lot of you guys always ask, so it is the Laura Mercier Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick in the shade Fresh. And it's got a purple undertone, which are like my favorites. So I really like this. I actually haven't tried wearing this throughout the day. So we might do a little, update on how that lipstick wears. Okay, let's talk about the foundation. Honestly, in some areas, I really prefer the finish of this over the Maybelline one. It just looks more natural, but actually because of that, in some areas as well, I feel like it's lifted up. When I applied the product on top, it seemed to kind of budge quite a bit, and it's starting to look patchy in the areas that I left the cream product. So I left the blush and the highlight kind of untouched so that we can see how long those last. I don't think it looks terrible right now. It's just that, you know, I feel like I had to layer up quite a bit of product, and for it to rub off this much when applying my makeup, it's kind of like a waste of product and time for me. Some days though, I do like a more natural coverage. It's just I have a lot of texture right now, and I'm kind of wishing that I had a little bit more coverage than I do at the moment. But you know what? We're just gonna see what happens. So as always, it's a little bit later in the day. I don't know why I always do this to myself. It is currently, oh, my iPhone is out of space. I keep getting the reminder that I need to back up my iPhone. Anyway, it's currently 4:31. I'm gonna be wearing this as long as possible. You guys know I do kind of stay up late, and I've been working on a lot of videos and things, as well as the After Party, which is my e-magazine. So I've been working on those. If you have not heard of the After Party and you want to join so that you receive the July edition, which is going to be going out on July 1st, be sure to sign up. I'll put the link down below. It's so fun. It's just where I can kind of like give you guys extra content in like an e-magazine form. It's just really fun. I love it. And so I've been staying up pretty late, and so I'm hopefully am going to be able to wear this foundation for a solid amount of time for you guys. Take a good look. This is what we're like right now. Again, I like the finish of this. It's more natural than the Superstay, but we will see which one we like as the day goes on. So that's all I have for you guys right now. I will just see you in a couple seconds when I do my check-in. Hello friends, I'm back. It is currently 12:44 a.m. Right? I always get those mixed up. You know what? I know the difference. It's just when I sit down to film this late, it just, you know, I forget. So anyways, let's just discuss the foundation. I am looking quite dewy, okay? And I've looked pretty dewy for most of the day. I like dewy products, okay? I like to look dewy, but I feel like I'm kind of looking greasy at this point. I have been wearing this for about 8 hours now. To be honest, it doesn't like look too bad up close. I mean, it looks like I've been wearing it for a long time. It's kind of separating around my nose, which for some reason that's the area that always separates. I don't know why. It's just the first place to kind of go weird on my face with every foundation pretty much. The blush is actually still on my cheeks. However, it was a really subtle blush if you guys remember. So, you know, I don't know if that's really saying too much, but it is still there. The highlight is, I mean, it pretty much looks like my whole face looks like it has highlight on it because of how dewy it is, but that is still there too. I forgot to tell you guys, I actually did set my face with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray because that is what I did with the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. So again, I wanted to do the exact same thing, and I used my Laura Mercier setting powder on most of the face. I did try to leave the cheeks bare. I don't think this foundation is like the worst foundation I've ever worn. I feel like it still works. I could still make it work. But for me personally, with my preference, I need something that's a little bit more mattifying and a little bit more full coverage. This you can build up, but it is a little bit more of a sheer to medium in my opinion. And I know there's people that love that kind of a coverage. So in my opinion, I don't know if you can really compare these exactly. I feel like this one's a little bit more of a lighter coverage, honestly, than this one is. If you like more of a dewy finish, I feel like you might like the L'Oreal Infallible one better. If you like something that's a little bit more like full coverage, then I would say the Superstay one would be better for that. The thing is, I like the packaging better on the Infallible Longwear Shaping Stick. I like this way better than the Maybelline one. You get more product. So I feel like what it comes down to is just your personal preference. For me, unless I have better skin, later down the road, I will probably reach for this one more than this one. However, I should let you guys know that I prefer like foundations in a liquid form most of the time. The only ones that I absolutely love in a stick form is the Hourglass Vanish foundation. Like, that looks incredible. I absolutely love that. Since there is a Superstay liquid foundation, I feel like I would reach for that first. A lot of you guys were saying though that a stick version would be good for traveling because then you wouldn't have to worry about it exploding in your bag or, you know, the glass bottle breaking, and that is so true with this one. So that's where this could come in handy for sure, is when you're traveling. For the Infallible one, I know the L'Oreal Infallible foundations are in a squeezy plastic tube, so you wouldn't have to worry about it breaking, but you might have to worry about it exploding. So if you are traveling and those are your favorite foundations, maybe do pick up the stick version of it. Or if you're somebody who prefers a stick formula anyway, then I would definitely check either of these out. Again, this for me, I feel like would be beautiful if you want a more sheer to medium coverage and you just want a little bit of something to kind of, you know, even out your skin tone. Otherwise, you're gonna have to build it up a lot, and I feel like it just kind of wastes product. I do like the finish of it. I just personally feel like I'm looking a little greasy and I would touch up. You know what? I do show you guys what it would look like if I were to touch up right now. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my Laura Mercier powder and we're just gonna sweep this in the areas that need a little mattifying. Oh my gosh, it looks a million times better. So oddly enough, I actually like this foundation better after blotting it. If you guys remember, I blotted the Superstay one with the same exact powder and it like got really weird in the forehead area. This one didn't do that. So I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be very helpful, but hopefully it is. Hopefully you're able to kind of see the difference between the two. And if you're looking to pick up one, you can kind of gauge which one you would like better. Both are decent foundations to me. Both wore nicely. It looks pretty much the same as when I put it on, except for the dew kind of came throughout the day. They're not like my favorite drugstore foundations of all time. I prefer liquid formulas, but I do think that I'm gonna enjoy having these in my collection just in case. And I do think that they're great for travel as well. Oh, as far as the blush and the highlighter goes, I don't know. I don't know if I will continue to use these just because I personally love a brighter blush. If I'm gonna do a cream blush, I want it to have an impact. For me, this was just a little bit too sheer, but I do think that it made my cheeks look really nice and hydrated. If you like a more sheer blush, you might actually enjoy this. Just my personal preference. I need something a little more. The highlight is super, super soft and subtle. I honestly don't use cream highlighter too much. For me personally, I don't feel like this is a necessity to have in my collection, but I do think it's pretty and it's really soft. I feel like this whole collection honestly is just really good for a really natural, soft base kind of look. If you're into that, you actually might really enjoy the blush and the highlight and a light coverage of the foundation too. If you guys have not yet joined the family, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. I would love to have you on board. And if you guys want to be notified every single time I post a video, just click on the bell after you subscribe and you will get a notification on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when I upload. Oh, by the way, this lip color did not last like this all day because I had like a lot of snacks, so I have reapplied it probably 2 times today. Still a beautiful color, but it's not something that's gonna like stay on your lips through lunch, dinner, brunch, dinner. You know what I mean? If you were wondering, because I did tell you I would update you on that. And yeah, that is everything, you guys. Again, leave a comment down below if you guys have any other foundations that you want me to try out. I love doing foundation reviews. I love finding good complexion products, especially ones from the drugstore. So if there's one that you know is new to the market or that you would just like to see my opinion on, go ahead and comment that down below. I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye!